For the first part of this video, I just want to state that if you don't mind, please pray that we miss the very strong storms that are likely coming through tonight. There will definitely be storms tonight, but many of them could produce tornadoes, damaging winds, hail, and all of that negative stuff. And lots of heavy rain is expected. There's a lot that's going to take place tonight into 5 o'clock. So strong storms are definitely happening, and I hope and pray we miss them. So, what's going on around this world? It's been a while since I've made a video regarding various things happening. I haven't really felt like making many videos, but I made a few here and there. So let's get started. The Bombogenesis bomb cyclone. Another one. Another Bombogenesis bomb cyclone has happened, and it has rapidly developed over the North Atlantic today. And this was posted 8 hours ago. It's moving north toward Greenland and Iceland. This bomb cyclone, Bombogenesis, they are becoming a lot more common, and they're happening quite a bit. And you'll see the images right here from radar. It's just incredible, an incredible system. They're like a hurricane that's on land when they hit. And there's a lot of paradises out there. California aims to identify wildfire-prone towns that could be next, and Paradise is another. A baby apparently was born on a mango tree during Cyclone Ida in Mozambique. And they're claiming here that has nothing to do with the world news. You can read that for yourself, but about marijuana improving the enjoyment and pleasure in life for men and women. That's apparently some other news that they have. You can read all these articles, by the way. B for bomb, a big sunspot is cracking with B-class solar flares, although we are in a long and deep solar minimum. I don't have time to read everything. I'll skip through. Insanely bright ring of fire, first ever black hole image released by astronomers. Now, I feel like I've seen this image before. I've talked about that before. That's an ME for me. I've seen this image before. It feels very strongly like I have. And I know they claim that this young girl, a woman scientist or an astrophysicist, found it. And, well, really, truly, this is just a reconstructed image by computer imagery. So it's not even really the actual thing. So that's the thing. But I guess that's what they look like, and I don't know. Maybe they obviously probably had to reconstruct it. When you get the image in, you got to reconstruct it, like you'd make a copy of something. But back to this: Texas, New Mexico, strong dust storms are making dirty snow in Minnesota. They're calling that dirt. That is a dirty snowstorm going from Texas, New Mexico, and Minnesota. And these bomb winter storms are continuously slamming areas of the United States, causing power outages, schools closing and being canceled, interstates being shut down. It's just been a mess. And this is crazy. This was really sad. This is really kind of gross, really. Each one measured about 4 millimeters long, but these are sweat beads that were in someone's eye. They were under someone's eyelid in Taiwan. How you could not know that, I have no idea. But doctors were treating a Taiwanese woman for swollen eyes. They were shocked to find 4 tiny sweat beads living under the eyelids, feeding on her tears. She had these, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of gross, but I mean, I don't even see how that's possible. I mean, it's just weird to me that would even be. I mean, I don't really have that weak of constitutions. I mean, not much really bothers me. But I just don't get how that could happen. But I guess it can. And Japan's Hoshino Island has been hit 2 days ago by a 6.1, very powerful magnitude earthquake. Nebraska, they said it's just the way they are. They said they know they're gonna get through it no matter what. Absolutely abnormal rain right now. A rainstorm that is very abnormal lashes Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It lashes out on them, turning the streets into torrential rivers. At least 6 people are dead. 8 inches in less than 4 hours, which is a lot for that area. It's prompted a state of emergency. and a 6.5 earthquake hit northeast of Bristol Island, South Sandwich Islands. The earthquake took place there a few days ago. And green pollen apocalypse is what they're calling this before severe thunderstorms in North Carolina. This green pollen covered the skies before a thunderstorm in the Carolinas. Carolinas dealt with a major building explosion and an earthquake, and apparently they had major storm systems which ravaged the areas. Drug-resistant germs, nightmare. Now, this is something I'm also wondering if some groups are not putting out these illnesses in order to make the anti-vaccination people or anti-vax people more seem like evil, seem like evil people, or seem to in order to get their way, put out the vaccinations. I'm wondering if they're not causing this biowarfare. I'm not stating anything for sure, for certain, because I don't know, but I do know I wouldn't put it past them. And other countries even, because we know China and Korea. North Korea and China, they both have, and Russia does too. The United States does too. Other countries, they're stored in the Arctic. They're stored, these diseases and bacterias and ancient bacterias, all kinds of illnesses. They're all stored, viruses, they're all stored in vials, millions of them. They store them. They're frozen. So they stated, Korea stated, that they have not only a biowarfare weapon, they can put out chemicals in the atmosphere and into the air, the water supply, they can damage and poison the water supplies, they can put out viruses to people, and they said they have the capabilities to do so. Korea stated it several years ago. They specifically told it. North Korea and China, they both stated it. And I never did really trust them. Especially when you make threats like that to the general public. But they also stated that, who else was it? There were, I can't remember what I was going to state, but President Trump put out a warning that we need to defend against these EMPs and these electromagnetic weapons, where they can shut off the grid and shut off communications. There was an ancient Mayan prophecy that stated that people wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. I remember that being stated. I can't find it now, but I remember it being stated. And that's pretty much the way it is when something like that happens. You can't communicate through technology. So, they knew that long ago. Things are in a cycle. Life happens in a cycle, and we are repeating the cycle again. It's obvious. But moving back to this, the drug-resistant, like I was talking about, drug-resistant germs. It's a nightmare. Mysterious and deadly fungi and bacteria sweep secretly around this globe, and they're becoming a growing public health threat. Hundreds of people are coming down with the measles, the mumps, polio-like viruses. They're very similar to ancient diseases and illnesses. Well, not ancient, but things from the old times and they're saying that it's because people aren't getting vaccinations. Now, when people like, my mama and my daddy went to school, they forced vaccinations. They had them lined up. I mean, there was no question about it. You're getting your vaccinations today. They'd say, you're getting your vax. And they had them all line up and required them to get their shots. You're getting your shots. And she said she remembers that. They did the same thing to us. They had us go in and get our shots all the time. I mean, vaccinations were required. So, but yet they say in Tennessee there was a law stating you didn't have to. So, I don't know. And they're looking to stop that. They're looking to create a law where you have to get vaccinations. Claiming because of this epidemic that's happening of various diseases. Now, a lot of times, you have foreigners come over here from other countries and they bring in these diseases as well, especially if they're not background checked thoroughly and checked out. It's a growing problem. There are many factors that can factor into this, that can contribute to this issue. But regardless, these bacteria are secretly sweeping around this world and becoming a growing public health threat. And these storms that we're about to likely have are in the national news. So pray that we're safe. As of 4 days ago, Cyclone Ida, a day the death toll rose to 847. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced. And they're talking about areas being paralyzed by these blizzards. Now, these blizzards, they got 2 to 4 feet of snow within a very short period of time. They went from the 80s. Texas was 104 degrees, and then all of a sudden, boom, within hours, it switched over and shifted over to blizzards. And now these areas were paralyzed, as you've seen on the news. I'm sure if you watched it, the reason why I watched the news is because of all this that was going on. So I watched it. We watched it, my mama and I. Last month, they got bombarded by all this. Now, blizzards and floods. Last month happening. Well, now they're getting ready for this second round of that a bomb cycle. Well, actually, they're getting ready for their third round right now of storms, including us as well. But what they experienced 4 days ago was the second round of bomb cyclones, the second unusual inland bombogenesis in less than a month. Bomb cyclones, like it states here, bombogenesis, bomb cyclones, they're only supposed to happen on the coast. That's usually where they take place. But they've been going inland and hitting areas in the middle of the land with storms and snowstorms, blizzards, heavy downpours of rain, tornadoes. There was a tornado in the snow. That's ridiculously crazy. Lightning in the snow is one thing. Thunder snow happens, and that used to be a rarity, and then it happened more commonly after 2005 or so. And 1997, it took off. Jet lightning and lightning in the snow, thunder snow. And there was a tornado in the snow a few days ago. But what we're experiencing now due to these climate changes is inland bombogenesis, where these bombogenesis bomb cyclones go into the land very far, and there's no stopping them. And we've had 2 in the United States, in the Midwest and the central areas, in less than a month, with all of these blizzards and snows and storms, tornadoes, ice tsunamis. 5 days ago, if you remember, this crazy ice tsunami hit Canada, and their river got covered in this ice tsunami. They say we've never seen catastrophic flooding like we were seeing lately in the history of the United States, that they've been keeping records. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, is now telling us that there'll be more major flooding until May and even July of 2019. Now, these are the areas of the list on the list for in pink for major, moderate is in red, and minor is in yellow. So a majority of the United States, half of it at least, dealing with, and these areas here, dealing with throughout even July, through mid-July, they say, dealing with flooding, major flooding, the flood outlooks. So, even in the summer, California had an unexpected earthquake drought, so that was kind of unexpected, so we'll see how that goes. And Iran has been flooding, and it killed at least 70 people, and forcing evacuations for thousands. They're having a flooding crisis in the country of Iran. And they say the government's response has been completely inadequate, and they have not received much help from the government at all for the people. There were 175,000 lightning strikes that took place. No, I'm sorry, 175,000 people without electricity, and thousands of lightning strikes that took place. A girl was actually killed. This is a similar scenario than what's happening tonight. Hopefully not. Hopefully they weaken. I pray that they do. But the Texas storms that moved all the way through Tennessee last week, 6 days ago, it actually killed a girl. A meteor fireball exploded over Russia, creating strong flashes of light and loud booms rattling windows 6 days ago. And a mystery took place as a lake turns glowing blue. Maybe it's some sort of chemicals, I don't know. But check out how blue this lake in Russia turned. It looks like the sky. They say it started glowing blue. They say alien life could have already found us. Solar minimum experts predict the sun's activity in a solar cycle number 25 to be below average, just like solar cycle number 24. and a large seismic event similar to what happened in 2011 is predicted. The Japanese earthquake and tsunami underway in New Zealand's North Island. Ongoing earthquake swarms taking place in that area. So a lot happening right now. Prayers to everyone dealing with all of the things that are going on, and this new bombogenesis bomb cyclone that is hitting the North Atlantic today and rapidly grew. Very rapidly grew. Heading toward Greenland and Iceland. These bomb cyclones, bombogenesis, are like giant hurricanes, but hitting land, and used to they only hit the coast, but now they go right over land. They don't dissipate. I send prayers, much love. I just want to give you the latest updates. Pray that we miss these storms as well. I know I will be. We all will be. We're in a code red for weather. It is really, really rough. I'll show you the radar in a moment. Now, right now, you can see that there are no severe alerts. Thankfully, there's no severe weather, no strong, severe thunderstorms, but a lot of heavy downpours of rain. We're expecting over 2 inches of rain tonight. And they said the one good news about this is it's a fast-moving storm system. That's the only negative part of that is the damaging winds. But there will be thunderstorms throughout the day, and after around noon tomorrow, they should ease off. But yeah, definitely an unsettled atmosphere throughout Sunday, tonight and Sunday. But there's so much happening around this world, and this has just been an overview, a quick overview of what's been taking place. Stay as safe as you possibly can, because it's definitely getting crazy out there. Peace, much love. This is an update. Bye.